Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. I came here to praise the city for honoring diversity, and I'm really saddened by what I'm hearing. And I love this city. I have always felt welcome here. I've always felt that everyone was welcome here, but I'm hearing that not everyone is welcome, and it's disheartening. It's very disheartening, and we need to get beyond this somehow, and all I can say is that I am ready to do whatever work is needed to help move beyond this kind of hatred. And I still love Richmond, and I'm still going to work for it, and thank you very much for honoring the gay community, of which I am one. Thank you.
So I'm Nancy Burke, and I'm a business owner and resident, been here a very long time. I'm also a lesbian. And it was really moving for me to see the pride flag today when I came into the City Plaza. I hadn't seen it. I had heard, all the stuff on the TV and the news about it. And I know that it's obviously a big thing for everybody, a lot of people in this room. And for me, it was very moving that the city I've lived in for so long is actually acknowledging my community. So I thank both of you for doing that. And I really wish we could find a way to care about each other and to care about each other's communities and not hate each other and be divisive. Okay, can we please try to find a way to do it? It's so upsetting and distressing. We've all been through a lot, all of us, over many, many years. And if we could find a way to support each other instead of struggle so much, it would be really, really wonderful.
Hi, my name is Judy Weatherly, and I'm not surprised by what's going on tonight. Not at all surprised. I was here last year. I'm really saddened that the youth from RISE are not here. It's very disappointing that they were shunned in the way that they were. Very shameful for those of you who were here last year and did that kind of shaming of young people. I had a mentor that was in my life for about 30 or 40 years who talked to me a lot as I was growing up as a young adult and when things were so hard. And she talked about community a lot, and she kept saying, Judy, community is about common unity. And that's what I would like to really emphasize tonight, is that there has to be some sense of common unity in order for us to move forward and for us to have the strength that a wonderful city like Richmond needs and deserves. I've been a lesbian for almost 40 years. I've been with my partner for almost 30 years. We've been married for almost 5 years. And tomorrow, we might actually get some federal benefits because the Supreme Court's going to come down with a couple of really important decisions.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, City Council. I want to thank you all, Mayor included, and the Council for, again, proclaiming this again this year. Gay Pride Month in the city of Richmond. I'm sorry. Connecticut, Delaware, Iowa, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota, New Hampshire, New York, Rhode Island, Vermont, Washington, D.C. have all legalized gay marriage. President and Mrs. Obama, Vice President and Mrs. Biden, senators and representatives support gay marriage. The Boy Scouts now allow gay scouts. Jason Collins, a pro basketball player, has come out to proclaim he's gay, as have other sports figures and celebrities. The Supreme Court will be making their landmark decision in a few days regarding DOMA, the Defense of Marriage Act, and its constitutionality, and California's ridiculous Prop 8 will hopefully finally be settled as well. Things are finally really progressing for our country regarding gay rights, and there's no sign of stopping. We've come a long way from the Stonewall riots of '69. Remember the stink when black and white marriages were considered horrible and against God? We were able to get through those days and were able to accept those marriages. Of course, there are still those out there who think gay marriage, rights, and liberties shouldn't be allowed, that we're sick and perverted. Yet these same people must think it's okay for the continued sex abuse in various straight religions, like the Catholic Church and its so-called sacred priesthood, college coaches and their sex abuse of players.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. My name is Marilyn Langlois, and I'm a Richmond resident. I want to thank you, Madam Mayor and Councilmember Beckles, for bringing this proclamation. It's very timely, it's very true, it's very helpful. And I also want to thank you, Madam Mayor, for flying the rainbow flag over City Hall. It makes me feel proud and happy to see that statement of solidarity with everyone in our community. I'm very, very sad that the RISE youth didn't come here tonight, but I understand why. I can see that they need to be protected from these really hurtful words that some people have been saying. If the RISE youth are out there watching on TV, I want you to know that I do support you. I thank you for all you do. I thank you for that beautiful PSA, very hard-hitting, very true, very moving. Thank you for sharing that video with us. Thank you also to all of the gay, straight youth who are out in our community, and I support all of you. Thank you to the gay, lesbian members of the audience and members of our community for being here. I'm proud and I'm glad you're part of our community. I'm glad for all of our brothers and sisters, gay, straight, lesbian, two-spirit. We're all part of a wonderful human family. And let's remember the words that the youth articulated in that video. Let's turn our words of hate into words of love. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Terrence Chung. I am Supervisor Joya's Chief of Staff and a resident of Richmond. As you know, Supervisor Joya had co-authored our Contra Costa County LGBTQ Pride Month resolution earlier this month, and I'm here to really commend the council here for supporting the diversity of Richmond. This past weekend couldn't have been more reflective of the diversity that we have here in this wonderful city. We had Juneteenth, we had Powwow, we even had the Cannabis Cup, all on Saturday and one on Sunday. And so, you know, by approving this, it really shows that you support the rich fabric of Richmond, the rich cultural diversity of Richmond. Somebody said that this is not the Castro, and you're absolutely right. I wouldn't want to live in the Castro, and I don't live in the Castro, and I don't live in San Francisco. I live here in Richmond, and that's mainly because of the diversity that's here and the support that you are showing all of us tonight. Thank you very much.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the City Council, Melvin Willis, Richmond resident. I'd just like to start off by thanking Madam Mayor and Councilwoman Beckles for having this proclamation and recognizing the gay and lesbian community and just showing some support, because I know out there they don't really feel like anyone's there supporting them. They can't really feel proud to be gay or lesbian because they can't be open about it, because they're afraid of the judgments that's going to be passed down on them and the oppression that they're going to feel just because of their lifestyle. And we've seen all through history, oppressing a certain group of people because they're different and because their lifestyle, it never turns out well. You got the women's movement where they weren't able to vote. They had to fight for that, slavery, civil rights movement, and frickin' Holocaust, Native Americans being called savages back in the day. Oppression never works out, and it's good to see that the city, or at least, Madam Mayor, Councilwoman Beckles, and I've seen an email from you, Mr. Councilmember Myrick. I'm glad and I appreciate you guys for standing up for them and letting them know that there is support and there is true love.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. My name is Ben Barr. I'm the Executive Director of the Rainbow Community Center, which is an LGBTQ community center providing services in Contra Costa County. We have services for youth, seniors, people with HIV and other health issues, and a counseling program. I want to just say it's difficult to sit here and hear the things that were said tonight, but I also serve isolated gay seniors, frightened youth, families who are struggling and dealing with the stigma of their children. And when I think of them having to hear the kind of things that were said tonight, I realize how much work we have to still do to create acceptance and equality in our communities. And I'm proud to be a partner with RISE. And on that PSA that they produced, there were 5 other agencies: Gender Spectrum in Orinda, the Center for Human Development in Concord and Pittsburgh, James Morehouse Health Clinic in El Cerrito, the Rainbow Center, and RISE. And together, the 5 of our organizations have created a collaborative to work for LGBT acceptance for youth and families. And we're working from San Ramon to El Cerrito to Richmond, in Pittsburgh, in Martinez, in Concord, in Walnut Creek. And we are really creating a very strong movement of families and faith leaders and educators. And what we have all seen is that when we create safety and acceptance for LGBTQ youth, we help everyone. When we create a school where LGBTQ youth feel safe, the grades of all students in those schools increase. Because all students, when they see acceptance, they know that they're welcome too, and they're safe too. And so I invite all of you and the people who are here to come and participate in actually helping all of our children by teaching everyone to promote safety and acceptance. Thank you.
Good evening, Council. My name is Reverend Damian King, and I just want to briefly say that it's unfortunate that in this great city, so many things become convoluted and blown out of proportion and over-politicized. But I want to briefly read a scripture coming from the First Corinthians chapter 13, verses 11 through 13. And it simply reads that when I was a child, I spoke and I thought and reasoned as a child, but when I grew up, I put away childish things. Now I see things imperfectly like puzzling reflections in the mirror, but then we will see everything with perfect clarity. And that I know now is partial and incomplete, but then I will know everything completely, just as God knows me now. 3 things will last forever: faith, hope, and love. And the greatest, or the principal thing, is love. If love is the principal thing, it's a governing principle. It should guide you, it should govern you in all your ways. So even if you disagree with a thing, if love, and I'm speaking to my Christian family, if love is the principal thing, then it should also guide and instruct you on how you confront a matter, even in dealing with something that you might not agree with. If it's something that you don't agree with, you should be addressing it with a level of tolerance and love that exceeds your one-dimensional worldly understanding, because then you are a reflection of what it is that you profess. If you claim to follow Christ, then you have to follow and address things with a matter of love, forgiveness, and hope. Speak life into individuals. Speak life into the circumstances that you don't approve of. And that's the only way that we can elevate and transcend, not as a people, but not as a community, but as a people. And I just want to conclude with I applaud anyone who dealt with this issue with love and with tolerance, even if you didn't agree. And I also would like to applaud those who standing up for their rights, because this is a human rights issue. Amen. So.